We get into some other education matters, but a bit different. That is cybersecurity, skills, and the gaps in cybersecurity in Africa. And joining me for this particular discussion that we are about to begin is Mr. Sanjeev Sharma, who is the Director, EC Council, as well as Mr. John Mutunga, who is the National Director, Cyber Pro, and the Managing Director of the Cyber Week Africa 2023. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you for having us.
All right, if we may just go direct into you, sir, explaining to us what Cyber Pro is all about.
Good morning, everyone. Cyber Pro is an organization which is involved with training and intensive skills training within the area of cybersecurity, both in the Republic and across Africa and international. We have a local office here in Nairobi, we have an office in Ghana, and we have a local international office overseas. Yes.
All right. When talking about cybersecurity, what are we looking at, Mr. Sanjeev?
So,
from the definition.
Yeah, so definition basically, and I'm going to talk about, because you had started with the skills gap, it has to start right with creating awareness, because today largely people are not even aware of the threat landscape in which all of us live. And there's a huge need for creating awareness, creating training, and having people who are skilled who can then address the huge challenge which all of us are facing through cyber crime. And that's what we're talking about as cybersecurity.
Yeah. And why maybe would you say we have a shortage in skills when it comes to cybersecurity in Africa?
Thank you. Currently, the status quo of cybersecurity in Africa, or even in the world, most of the technical people who are managing cybersecurity are the people with experience of not less than 9 years, 8 years, 7 years. The new guys who are coming have to be inducted to the cybersecurity, and that's what is causing the skills gap.
Yeah.
Because everybody who is learning cybersecurity seems to be in Africa something which has just popped up when government has started to go digital. And as governments go digital, there's need for protection of the content that is going online.
Yeah.
Most of the crisis we have on cybersecurity is protection of data, not money. And that's why, as more of governments make their instances to move online, we need solutions to protect the data which is online. And that's where the gap is. People coming from school and people going to the industry is almost half of what is required for us to cancel the gap on cybersecurity. And this is happening not only in Africa, but worldwide. Cybersecurity has a big gap on skills, and that's what we want to address in this conference. Yes.
Is it that most people are not taking up maybe cybersecurity as a course in school? Is it that there is not proper training? Why do we have such a gap in the skills? Why is it that we don't have enough skills when it comes to cybersecurity? No people are studying for it, or they're out there, but...
The evolution of technology is so fast, such that the people who have already learned anything on coding, anything on systems protection, they're already becoming extinct in a very short while. So it's something which needs to run as fast as the education sector needs to run as fast as the technology is running. And it's difficult because both the lecturers and the students have to keep on learning. And when you come out of school, you find the technology has developed even more faster. You need to go back to school again to understand what is happening in the current sector. And that's a challenge we have. Yeah, the same technology which was used last year is not the same one being used this year. And many developments are coming up in cyber protection and many things with entry of artificial intelligence, which is able to override anything that is being written, with the entry of more skilled. It's like war. With the entry of more new equipment and new machines, we need to learn what are the new equipments and what are the new machines which are being applied in the world today. With the digitalization of every government sector, we need to know what are the best options to protect those equipment and those data which is online. And that's where we have challenge. We have challenge because students are not coming out of school with the best technologies to protect the emerging trends in the world of cyber security right now. Yeah.
And maybe Mr. Sanjeev, what is being done to bridge that shortage?
All right, so thanks for that question, because that's exactly where we come in. We have end-to-end solutions which talk not just about creating awareness in people at large, but also at enterprise level, industry level. And then we have a huge end-to-end courses, starting from the entry level to the CISO level. So we do a lot of research and development in what are the kind of courses which are required. We develop those courses. The reason we are able to develop these courses because we run our own SOC operations. We also do a lot of consultancy on how to secure information, data, your organizations, and that's how we come up with these solutions. So in terms of what are the answers, the answer is training, the answer is skilling, the answer is developing a knowledge base, and all of that can only come if we have a collaboration between industry, between academia, between government, and training organizations. So if all of us work together, that's how we build the capacity, and that's how we can address this problem.
And maybe what are some of the threats in cybersecurity in Africa?
One of the biggest problems right now we have in Africa is AI. The artificial intelligence is going to override the human intelligence, because the artificial intelligence is learning every day, and it's learning what is being taught by the humans. So if I'm learning what you're teaching me, and I'm developing on what you're teaching me, definitely I'm going to think faster and understand faster than you. And that's the biggest challenge. Right now, you are able to find problems for problems which are being caused by AI. You are able to receive like 6,000 emails in an hour into your email box. By human nature, you cannot send 600 emails at once. But AI is able to send those number of emails to your email box. How are we going to address that? It's a big problem for the world right now. Not only for Kenya, not only for Africa, but for the world. Like my friend Sanjeev said, the solution is research in motion, continuous research on cyber technology and cyber security, continuous research, continuous funding, continuous development, and training back cyber security to even to the kindergarten. And I look at this, the solutions the government is giving, which are very good. The government is doing a lot to develop cyber security. I understand the ministries is doing a lot. Institutes are coming up learning cybersecurity. But the challenge we have, we are not taking cybersecurity back to kindergarten, whereby you are able to tell your kid, do not take my phone and change your name and put something else. Those things are starting from kindergarten. You bring it up to high schools and to the universities. Much of the solution to cybersecurity is just like the solution to speaking Swahili. Swahili is being taught in kindergarten. Cybersecurity should be taught in kindergarten. Swahili is being taught in secondary schools. The same thing. Primary schools and secondary schools, the same thing. Because cybersecurity is where we are going. And we are fighting an indivisible war between the good guys and the bad guys. And the good guys are not more than the bad guys, and the bad guys are not more than the good guys. But there is a place they meet, the bad guys are winning more. So what we are preaching ourselves and what we are presenting to the nation is capacity building up to kindergarten, starting cybersecurity from your kid. When they grow up, you make sure they don't touch your phone. When they grow up, when they are able to touch your phone, you make sure they don't access areas of your phone. That's where cybersecurity starts from. And the reason why it is not being addressed properly is because there is AI, the phone is able to ask you, do a click here which you are not supposed to click. The phone is able to ask to pop up a new image of something while you are using, and that image will force you to put your username, your email, and able to direct you to where these guys want you to go. If you are able to train your kids that this is wrong, do not click every pop-up which comes up, you already address issues of cybersecurity.
Yeah, and I feel we have a problem to clicking on things, you know, not just the children, you know, I hear you talk about the kids, but I'm looking at some of the things that I just accept, you know. How do we address that?
So,
you know, when it comes to terms and conditions, we don't get to read them most of the time. We just go ahead and click.
You're absolutely right. The challenge or the problem lies at the basic, the grassroots level. It's the end user who's not even aware what is the right thing to click, what is the right thing to open. So the awareness has to start there. Then once people are more aware, then we need more skilled people to protect all of us through these ransomware and malware. And to do that, we need skilled people. Now, today, there is a huge unemployment issue. And cybersecurity offers a solution to that, because then we have all these students coming out of high school, undergrads, graduate, unemployed people who can then take this up as a career option. And they, by the way, today people who are there in cybersecurity as a career, they are the most sought after, because the moment they get a job, then they are picked up by somebody else, and then the shortage is always there. So the more the number of people whom we train and we get in there, that's the solution, and that's what we need over here.
Okay. Now, before I get into the conference that is beginning today, the cybersecurity conference that is happening right here at the University of Nairobi, my question on AI, is there a way out? I mean, it feels like it's already here with us. The earlier we accept that it's here, the better. But is there any way to go about AI? Is there a way out? Or, I mean, it's the future, it's here.
Let me comment on that, and thank you for asking such a question. That's what consumes me. The status of the world right now is AI. AI is going to kind of override human activity. Your data is available online. Your life history is available online. Your medical records are available online. Soon, I believe soon, everything you own and everything you are is available online. So, AI is an ability whereby it's training itself how to access your information and publish it online if you are able to give it permission. And that's where the human factor stands. The human factor is the ability to allow access to whatever the artificial intelligence is asking for. So that's where my friend is talking about training and intensive awareness. Once you are aware that you cannot allow the AI to access your information, they will not be able to access. The AI will not be able to access, and the human factor will supersede the AI. But how many people know? How many people know that you're not able to give access to something that pops online and asks for your email address? When you release your email address online, you are giving over 10 million people access to your personal data. And whether there is law governing, whether there is no law governing, technically you have exposed yourself to the world. Whether you send an email to somebody and whether you receive an email from somebody. So the human factor only stands at the place of authentication. Authentication is the key to defer AI what it requires. But then the positive part of AI is able to understand what artificial intelligence is all about, able to understand what artificial intelligence can do and what it can do, and not rely so much on artificial intelligence because it's overriding your mind, but also building up a future which is also AI-based. I'm saying it's like there's good AI and there's bad AI. The bad guy will use the bad AI. The good AI will use the good AI to supersede the bad AI. Human factor is still there. But the intelligence factor, which is negative, will always try to supersede the human factor. Now, it's woo-woo. Now, what we do and what as the Cyber Pro does is trying to train people. We are training over 20 circles, financial institutions. You are handling other people's money. Do not release other people's money to the people until you are sure that this money is protected. We are training government institutions. We are training schools on how to stop, how to deter the non-human factor. So that if you receive an email and you are told, please put your use, you have won $10,000 here, please give. Just first know that there's nothing for free online. You'll never win anything for free online. But you will click and say, oh, this is my username, this is even my grandmother's name, this is my dad's name. You put all the information. They are able to access your grandparents, you are able to access your parents, and the chain continues. Every data you release online is usable by either human mind or artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. The capacity, the ability to withstand that is awareness. Okay. Be aware, be safe.
Yeah. And I have to agree that awareness is really lacking. I mean, just a couple of months ago, we saw Kenyan citizens, going to get their eyes scanned, in return they were being given some money, and you have no idea where all this information is being taken. So definitely awareness is needed. And as we are in the Cybersecurity Week at the moment, and the Cybersecurity Conference is set to happen, if you may just feed me in on what the conference is all about, Mr. Sanjeev.
Yeah, so the conference is all about getting all the right people who are responsible for getting change in one place. So we have the university, the academia, we have the government, we have the industry, and we have experts from the cyber world coming in this conference. And then working together in saying how do we contribute in creating solutions, and how do we contribute in creating a safer world for all of us.
What are maybe some of the discussions? What are some of the areas that you will be touching on during this conference?
So me personally, I'm going to be talking about the cybersecurity skill gap. What are the opportunities it brings, and what are the threats which we are countering? So like I mentioned earlier, there's a huge huge number of cybercrime which is going around the world, leave alone here in Africa. And we need to prepare all of ourselves, the children, the current generation, the future generation, and protect them. And that can only be done through educating them. That can only be done through building skills, which are very scarce. So we today have almost 3.5 million people who are required just at the entry level to work in cybersecurity. And that's where we as EC Council have come in and created a scholarship program just to build that capacity, and we're pledging around $3.5 million towards that. So that's exactly what we are discussing here, and talking about how to bridge the skills gap and how to prepare the next generation to protect against cybercrime.
What I get from what you've just said is there are enough opportunities. The opportunities are there because there's a gap. So the opportunities are there. So what is needed is for people to get to, get trained and get to know more about cybersecurity, because the opportunities are there. They're immense.
Absolutely. It's not just the opportunity, it's also the ecosystem is there. We have the university system, we have the academia system, we have the industry. It's just that we need to get together, collaborate, and then create solutions where we can address these problems.
All right. Maybe from you, what are some of the discussions maybe to expect from your end as CyberPro?
Actually, one of the discussions we'll be talking about is AI, entry of AI in the finance sector, in the government sector, and in the academia sector. We'll be talking about the cybersecurity in the health sector. We don't want to find your DNA somewhere in the publication on a mafungi wanyama kind of thing. You walk away with a paper with someone's DNA. We are looking at, we are talking about bridging the gap to the universities. What we have realized is mostly what the university is learning is computer science. When you finish computer science, you have to go again to learn for another 2 years on cybersecurity. Then you learn 2 years, and that's where the systems of the world are set up. When you learn 2 years, you also have to do another 1 year attachment. You have to go for pupillage or something like that. So you can do another 2 years after campus. So you finish campus when you're 24 years, so to guess, and you might be able to be ripe for a job when you are 28. And at 29, you have a family. And at 30, you have demands which require money for you. So we are feeling that we need to merge these gaps and ask the policymakers, how are you going to help us take cybersecurity as one of the biggest world employer right now back to the university? Yeah. I'm not saying it's not there, but I'm saying we take it back to the university. We take cyber back to the university in an equal opportunity employer, so that you finish university, you are ready for a job. And our model of simulation is like this. We shall train you at the university. We shall build a cyber center at the university to train students partially on cybersecurity. We build a career on cybersecurity in the university. From the university, you will be ready enough to understand ethical hacking, to understand things like protection of IPs, to understand stuff which is necessary for the world today. And while you're at the university, when you leave university, you will not need another 2 years to do another degree on ethical hacking. You will not need another 2 years to get an attachment somewhere else to learn a course on data protection. You will be ready to leave campus while you are ready to work in an organization to deliver solutions to the organization in issues of cybersecurity. Right now, there are so many people training cyber in the universities, and there are so many organizations. I love what Cisco is doing. I love what Fortinet is doing within the universities. But we want to combine all of that, and we are calling on people with the right agenda to combine all of this, because we are fighting an invisible enemy. We need to have an invisible unity, whereby we know if you are trained by Fortinet, you are accepted by all. If you are trained by Cisco, you are accepted by all. If you are trained by CyberPro, you are accepted by all. And you are able to diverge into the market and get a job and work. And that's what these discussions are all about. We want to reduce. I will tell you, the current status is 80% of organizations are not protected, do not have a cybersecurity expert. 80% of organizations, out of 100, 20% are using 9% of the available technology experts. 20%, the remaining 20% are using the available 9%. And that causes a very big, huge gap. For example, all of us, we know if you want an IT guy, you have to wait for him to come. If you call up an IT person, it takes maybe a week to show up, maybe 3 days to show up. Why? Why do we have this challenge? And when you call a nurse, she's able to come tomorrow. When you call a doctor, you're able to get a doctor tomorrow. But the IT guy is not available. Why? Because one IT guy is serving more than 20 companies.
We have a shortage.
We have a very big shortage. And we are addressing this shortage controlled. We are controlling the address to the shortage of technical people, especially in cybersecurity. And it's not that those who know they don't want to develop. We want to develop as fast as possible, and that's why we are moving cyber back to the university. We are moving technology training back to the university. We are setting up colleges within the university. We are doing partnerships with the universities to develop cybersecurity for the purpose of everyone in the nation. We are calling everybody. In this meeting, we are meeting the government, we are meeting the Defense Ministry, we are meeting the ICTA Authority, we are meeting the government departments. All of them are coming, and all of them are talking about collaboration, meeting together, developing cybersecurity as a solution to the nation, not to the world. I'll give an example. Most nations, the issue of cybersecurity is addressed in the highest office. The office of the Prime Minister of Israel is handling the cybersecurity issue in the world, because cybersecurity is war. It's war we are fighting between the invisible guys who are hacking us from hidden places, and most times we never get to know who hacked us. We only know we have been hacked, but we never get to know who hacked us, because the guys who hack are hidden. We want to be open, and we want to have people. It is possible to crash cyber hackers. It's possible to have people developing solutions which are, and they are there. We are able to develop solutions which are able to deter hacking, which are able to deter shutting down networks and having access to public data, and putting policies in place to make sure this develops. Those are the things we are discussing in this conference. And we are welcoming everyone who is coming. It will be great.
I'm glad that you've touched on hacking, because I had a question on where exactly do we draw the line? Because we've seen so many people, commit cyber crimes. The other day I read a story of a Kenyan who's in the USA who committed some cyber crimes, and now he's asking to be allowed to, pay off. There was a story on that. So my question is just, where do we draw the line? Even as we train these people on cybersecurity, they're also gaining so much knowledge on just cyber generally, on IT generally, that they are able to do things like hacking and also. Where are we drawing the line? Is there a way to be able to curb
It's possible. The only way we can now curb cybersecurity is training our own people. There's a word in the street which is called vigilante. Vigilante is like your watchman, the guy who sits outside your house. You know, he's protecting your house when you are sleeping.
Yeah.
We need somebody to watch over our nation when we are sleeping, because we are really sleeping. We need somebody to protect our nation when we are sleeping. We need somebody when we are hacked, he is able to tell us who has hacked us.
Yes.
And you can only get those guys from the university. Why? The university guys don't need money. They just need a platform to read. And that's what the youth wants. The youth doesn't want a job. The youth wants a platform to do what they want to do with their own hearts. And that what they do now will generate money. But you see, the notion in the world today is the youth needs money, they need jobs. I practically speak to youth and I tell them, you don't need a job. You need opportunity. You need capacity. You need environment for you to create what you want to do in life, and you develop it. And that is the passion of what they want to do. For example, most of the best hackers never even went to school. They trained themselves. And hacking is not bad. Hacking is good. They said they call hacking and there's bad hacking. When somebody, it's like saying driving. When I say driving, it means a good driver or a bad driver. The same thing with hacking. A good hacker and a bad hacker. A good hacker protects your data from a bad hacker. Now, most of the best hackers in the world today are not people who went to school. And when they went to school, they only learned one thing, hacking. How to protect data, how to build systems which are unpenetratable. Those are the opportunities we want to release to the youth. Those are the opportunities we want to build the youth on. We want the youth to understand that they all need is an environment for them to develop their skills and manage their skills and learn what they do. My son asked me, Dad, I love photography. I want to be taking photography. I told him, but how will you take photography without buying a camera? The first thing you need to do is buy a camera. How do you buy a camera? Get a small job, make money, buy a camera. Then you can go and do what you love to do. The same thing with cyber. People will want to do cyber. Give him a laptop. And if he wants to do cyber, he'll become an expert. That's the only way we are going to develop cyber and able to curb and draw the line. We know that this university will not be hacked because it's full of professionals. Yes.
All right. Mr. Sanjeev, maybe according to you, what are some of the challenges that you feel cybersecurity is facing at the moment?
So there are multiple challenges. There are multiple challenges both in terms of people not being aware what to do, where to go, where to learn. It's also about the focus, which not only at the educational system level, but also at the end user level as to, so it's like global warming. Everybody knows that there is a problem, but nobody's doing anything about it. Or even if it is, it's not enough. So the issue is that we need people who are at all levels. So at an entry level, we need a person, like every organization has an IT support person. We need a cyber support person in every organization. We don't have that today. Yeah. Secondly, then like he mentioned, it's not about hacking. There's something called as ethical hacking, and that's what we do.
So
and we train.
Good hacking,
and how do you ethically hack to find out what are the vulnerabilities in the system and how do you protect the organization against it. Then you go and do pen testing, penetration testing to see what all do you need to secure yourself about. Once all of that is there, then you have incident handling. If some incident happens, then how do you handle it? How do you respond to it? Okay, how do you secure your network? So there is a network defense which you need to do. And then develop applications which make your system secure in the first place. So there are ways and means in you can secure your systems while you're doing the application development, you're putting an element of security inside that. So the system alerts you that there's going to be some attack, and how do you defend it? So there are multiple levels in which, and these are all the challenges because there aren't enough people who are there in all of these domains, and there aren't enough people who are going in for training or where this training is being imparted. And that's why it becomes very, very important to make people aware. That's the problem, they're not aware, and then if they are aware, they don't know what to do, how to do, and they don't know that these programs exist. So that's the problem, and that's what needs to be solved so that we build capacity, we have more and more skilled people, we give them jobs, we give them careers where they can be successful. It's a huge opportunity over there, just to be taken.
All right, and on that note, we take a very short break. Don't you go too far, because we'll come back to continue with this discussion on cybersecurity skills. Deep in the Come back to Good Morning Kenya. Now, before you get to let us know where exactly the conference is happening, for how long will it be happening, who is welcome to this particular conference, I have a question on cyber resilience. When talking about cyber resilience, what does it mean?
All right. For educational purposes, cyber resilience is able to, it's three-dimensional. You are able to train your people to be able to conquer any problem with the cyber issues. Now, when you train them and they are able to withstand, and you find that you are able to fit in the world and feel you are safe, it's ability to be, you are cyber resilient. You are strong on the cyber issues. And you know you have what he said, you are able to instantly respond, you are able to understand ethical hacking, you are able to understand it. You are strong on the cyber security issues which would happen to you. So organizations which are cyber resilient, organizations which are able to withstand cyber issues when they crop up and even when they are happening and when they haven't happened either. And that comes by training your staff, by educating them, by continuous updating them on what is happening in the world today. Then when you sensitize them on cyber, they will be cyber resilient.
Yeah.
Yes.
So every institution generally needs to have a cyber security, maybe what do we call them, departments? Exactly.
Most institutions need to have most institutions who have their data online. They need to have a cyber department. A department
that's
which deals
like
with
every institution.
cyber. If you cannot have them, you can consult them. You can consult them from CyberPro. We provide those solutions. We go to organizations, we train them, we give them, and we keep on checking on them. We provide protection for organizations. We provide perimeter for organizations to make sure they will never, nobody can come in. Anything that is out stays out. Anything that is in stays in unless you authorize it. And we train the departments to understand the cyber, to understand the threats, to do threat hunting. Sometimes they go online outside the official network to check what is happening in the other world. There are times you will go online and you click here. You want to see what will happen. Then they will tell you, put your username and password, you log out. It means you are smart. So that's a part of the resilience, your ability to withstand issues of cyber security. Ability to understand your content online. Yes, and how to protect it.
Okay. Mr. Sanjeev, what is the action plan for the conference?
I have touched upon it quite a lot in my previous answers which I gave you. It's all about collaborating. It's all about creating a skilled manpower base. There are enough and more opportunities and jobs which are there. So if we have people who are certified ethical hackers, who are certified to look after all the cyber threats which are there in incident handling, in response, in data recovery, in threat intelligence, in application development, and that's what is the solution. It can't be done by one person, or it can't be done alone. We need collaboration. We have organizations like CyberPro who are doing the training. We have the university system. We have many partners across the globe. We have trained more than 300,000 people across the globe, and we are present in more than 140 countries. So it's about spreading the message across, making people more and more aware, so they are more vigilant. The more vigilant you are, the more aware you are, you anyhow curb that threat. And then you need skilled people to work in the various organizations. So the way forward is creating awareness, creating training opportunities, creating jobs, and that's how we need to move forward.
I hear you on that. Maybe to you, Mr. John, when it comes to policies, do we have enough policies? I'll now talk as a country, not as Africa. Do you have enough policies as a country governing this field?
Talking as a friend of the government, yes, we have enough policies, but they are not implemented as a friend of the government. Now, talking as the guy in the street who is facing challenges of cybersecurity, if today someone is hacked, if an organization is hacked, and the guy who hacked them is found, do you know what he's accused of? Obtaining. There is no law about cybersecurity penetration testing, network access. There is no such a law. There is no clear-cut path on what do we get, what do we accuse this guy who accessed my password without my permission? Oh, you accessed my password? Yes. What did you do? I didn't manage to get to your money where your M-Pesa is stored, but I accessed your password. Those policies are there. But the law on what happens after the policy, maybe it's on production or it's on discussion. The policies on where the government is going are there, and they are clear-cut on issues of cybersecurity. Many of the officials from the government we talk to, they have a clear-cut path, and they know where we are going. Now, we need the people who will take us there. The experts who will take us to where we are going are the issues. If you look at this month, we've had like 20 conferences on cybersecurity. Those conferences need to come up with a single policy, unification, whether it's government, whether it's the National Defense University, whether it's the ICTA, whether it's any department of government. We need to address these things in a unison, in one voice. This is where the government is going in issues of cybersecurity, and these are the policies set in place, and then be public. And this is what we are going to achieve. Whether it's from, like I said, from kindergarten to the highest level of learning, then we will have a group of vigilantes. People will be selected by the government. They will be watching of our nation. Today, one organization is hacked. Those people will be there telling us who hacked and why did they hack and what they wanted. And we didn't pay ransom on that because people are paying ransoms. People are giving a lot of money to be given back their data, to be given back their password. Who is protecting us? In this line of cybersecurity, we need those policies to be implemented. The policies are, government has done its work. It's the people who are now in the ground to implement those policies on protection. We have Office of Data Protection Unit. We have organizations protecting. All the university are training small thing about cybersecurity. But to put it on the ground and make it work is where the problem is. And that's where we are coming in and partnering with many organizations, like EC Council, like Fortinet, Checkpoint, Palo Alto, so forth. We are partnering with all these organizations to make sure we build up a kind of our own vigilante group, our own strong guys. We know that if today you lose your password, tomorrow it will not in the public. Those are the policies we are putting, those are our implementations we are putting in place. And we are working closely with the government, we are working closely with the universities, and we are working closely with the industry. The industry are the guys who are producing the data, people who have the equipment in place and the technology in place. We are bringing them and telling them, take this technology to the universities, take these technologies to high school, and take them to primary schools and kindergartens so that we grow.
Yes. I'm looking at a situation, something as simple as I've seen so many times, countless times, people online talking about if you get any message from this number, it's not me. If you get any private message from my Facebook account, I mean, people's Facebook accounts being hacked, people's Instagram accounts being hacked. Am I able to go report if such a thing happens? Are we at a place where if my account has been hacked, not my bank account, just my social media accounts, am I able to go report, and what goes around that?
As much as I know, the government has tools, like I said, the policies in place, able to even follow up and know who hacked you. Sometimes you may not depend on local office, but also sometimes international support on knowing who hacked you and what it entails and why you are hacked, even for the computer which you are hacked from. The government is able to tell all of that, and is able to know that sometimes there are the critical solutions and the non-critical solutions. Like if you lose your Facebook page, if you lose your Facebook password, sometimes in your Facebook all you do is just lay on your Facebook. So there might not be much information if you lose it, except your photos be published, which is illegal. Be published online, which is illegal. Now, in a critical situation whereby, like what happened a few weeks ago to some of the organizations in Kenya where the data was published and the information was placed in wrong place, the government goes down and picks all the people who are perpetrators of that and brings them in the book. And there's a law which governs that. So for us now as normal users and normal technology, with the little technology we know, we are safe. We are safe. We know you can report to every police station. You can, even from the smallest department of police, they will be able to handle your case, especially if you are hacked.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, as we get on to winding up with this particular discussion, when we are in the Cyber Week Africa, so what generally are we looking to achieve?
At the cost of being repetitive again and again, we need to be much more aware. We need to be much more vigilant. We are right now conducting a lot of courses where we just call students at large to just get introduced to what cybersecurity is all about, how they can make their career. So this entire month is being celebrated as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It's not just a week. And then there are conferences like this which are happening, and we need much more conferences, discussions, engagements around all of this so that everybody knows, everybody is securing themselves, and then we have a safer future.
Okay. Where's the conference happening? When is it happening? Is it open for anyone and everyone who wishes to come?
Cyber Week is an international conference which happens in every continent in the world. We have Cyber Week UK, we have Cyber Week US, we have Cyber Week Europe, which was in Italy, Rome, this month, and we have Cyber Week Israel, which is in Tel Aviv University, who is our partners. We formed Cyber Week Africa, which is affiliated to the University of Nairobi at the University of Nairobi Chandaria Auditorium, starting today for the next 3 days, and it is it's a celebration of cybersecurity, whatever is happening, and also we are building up a policy for cyber research, interdisciplinary research center at the University of Nairobi. Our intention is to build a place whereby you can get all the information about cyber within the Republic. You just go there and you'll be able to be told who hacked who, when were you hacked, what time was back, what is the biggest antivirus coming up, what is the biggest virus which is attacking the nation. Those information will be available at the research center. I don't believe right now we even have a students-led research center in Africa, or even in Kenya, any research center. The only research center we know is at the Interdisciplinary Research Center of the University of Tel Aviv and the University of Manchester in the UK. But this one now we are starting up at the University of Nairobi. The School of Computing is really supporting us on that. And we are requesting all the universities in Kenya to unite. And every university should have a department of research on cyber technology and what is happening. The cyber department of the university will be able to tell when they are hacked. Before even anybody else knows. Before even the IT department knows. They will know we have been hacked by this guy. He's seated in India or he's seated in Japan, and we need to block this spot. And the access was by this computer. They're able to tell that. But we will not be able to know that if we do not have a research center where information is to be shared, non-disturbed information. I don't know which language to use to mean non-disturbed. It means pure information. Without, there are two words I don't want to use, but the information should be pure. That's what I'm saying. Right. It's the reality of the information as it is in the ground. We've been hacked by this guy. This guy is seated in this office. If he's seated in Kenya, we just go and pick him without having to call Interpol. If he's seated in USA, we follow up with Interpol. This is a guy who has been disturbing us. That is the thing we are trying to build up at the Cyber Week. And every year we'll be having Cyber Week at the University of Nairobi. And
who is welcome to attend?
Everybody is welcome to attend, although from next year it will be a paid-for event. You definitely know that we had the Cybertech. So now this is the Cybertech is a paid-for event. Cyber Week will also be paid-for event because we have to strengthen the research center, and we will need funds to strengthen the research center. But for now, it's free, open for the Republic. The only thing you need to do is go to cyberweek.africa and register. Without registration, because of security, you'll not be allowed to get in. Because of security, we need to know exactly who comes in and of the purpose they are coming in, and whether you are a student, whether you are a delegate, or whether you are coming to exhibit. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. John and Mr. Sanjeev, for shedding light on this particular discussion. And thank you for welcoming each and every one of us to the conference. I hope that you are going to take advantage of this conference that is happening at the University of Nairobi beginning today. As you've heard Mr. John mention that it is completely free, but from next year, it won't be free. It will be a charged event. So how about you take advantage this year and go there and learn as much as you can consider concerning this particular topic. Now, this is where we put a cap to today's Good Morning Kenya. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who has been tuned in. My name is Vivian Dagwa. Do enjoy, rather, the rest of your viewing.